Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Coffee in the Still Morning. Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee, and I've had a few requests to do some journal flips. Now, these are not going to be full journal flips, and they're not all my journals. I have different kind of journals. I have art journals. I have desk journals where I just throw extra stuff in and paint and paper and glue, whatever, and just glue stuff in. So, but I have those kind of glue books, which I'm not going to show those today. My writing journals, I do most all my writing that I do are in Moleskines. I love saying that. They're in Moles. I call them Moles. Um, that's most of my writing type journaling is done those. I usually do not combine uh, art journals, sketchbooks, and writing. Now I do have where I showed this last week. I put my hand right on it. I do have sketchbooks, which are just drawings with note taking, color notes, and that kind of thing. That's also different from my desk journals or collage journals or other idea journals like this. So I have different kinds. I have the writing journals, I have the sketchbooks where it's usually just drawing. I have desk journals, which just gets whatever's left over from projects thrown in them, like these two right here. Then I have my collage journal, which I'm trying to work this through all the way through and finish this one. Little idea journals. I have tons of just little idea journals. Those are all over the place. So there's just all different kinds. But I wanted to show you a few of the more colorful ones that are fun to look at. And then, as time goes on, I'll try to record more and more. So I'm on a Ustream with live chat. So thanks everybody for being here this morning. So I thought I would just go ahead and do a little explanation of some of my journals. So these two right here that I pulled are what I call desk journals. This one's from 2011. This one is from 2012. And they usually get pretty full. There may be a couple pages where there's still not really there's still blanks in them, but I usually try to fill them as much as I can. And I use acrylic craft paint when I do these. If there's any little extra bits of collage left over, I throw it in here, and then just like maybe, this is my form of doodling. I really don't doodle, so I either sketch or I do something like this. And I'm not going to show you every single page because we'd be here for a long time, but I'll kind of show you maybe some of the bulk of them, that when I've left over paint and or collage items, they go in what I call my desk journals. I usually have something like this sitting on my desk at all times to throw stuff in. I also do the same thing with these little mini composition books that look like this. They're just little thin composition books, and usually can get these at school year rolls around for like 25 cents. And they're just the cheap little composition, faux looking composition books. And I do the same type of things that I do in these, but just on a littler scale. So I'll show a few of those. Now these are really just used for ideas, idea collecting. It's the same thing for my collages. When it's a straight collage, well, I shouldn't say straight collage, collaging just paint without any drawing in them. Like you see my animals that I've been doing recently, those animals are all hand-drawn, hand-painted. But I gather a lot of ideas just by playing with collage and paint, and I put those in journals for future reference. For example, let me show the painting that I keep handy to show people what I'm talking about. For example, here's a mixed media collage that has part collage, the rest is paint. This is a collage piece, part of the bird and a part of a watch or collage. And then I do the mixed media painting on the rest. Well, what I'll do is I'll take this collage, and sorry for the lighting, guys, it's kind of flashed out, but I wanted the lighting to be good for the journals. So it's a little bright on there, but so I'll take, like this is an 8.5 by 11, just on plain 110-pound cardstock. And then I'll use that as like a sketch or a reference to do a full painting on and I know it's kind of close up, on a canvas board. So these are just canvas boards, and then this is all paint. So this is like my idea for the full painting. So then this is all painted. And I don't feel the need to follow it exactly. For instance, this was just some woods back there, but I turned it into like a heart on fire that turned into his tail, that turned into the bird. So this, I don't necessarily use this as a 100% like to copy this, but it's my idea, it's my reference, it's my sketch for a painting. So I do those as well. And lately I've been combining my drawing and my collage. Let me grab one of those. And there's view streams on all these, pretty much all of them. Like for instance, here's the one that I just did a couple weeks ago with Hump Day. And there's a recording. Sorry for the flashed out lighting there, guys. But what I'll do here is I'll draw an animal, and y'all saw the pre-sketch. Then I paint him, mixed media, some watercolor, some paint, some color pencil, and I do that with him. And then I do a lot of collage stuff around it and go back and add paint, color pencil, and whatever. So this is kind of a combination of the two. All right, question. Okay. So these desk journals, like I said, they usually, these are ones that I have up on my shelf now, so that I've moved on from these. But you'll see, and I want to cover up any personal information, but I'll do mixed media. So I might have, some collage, some, something, Mona, and Mona's my muse, and I won't get into that whole story now, but I'll try to put Mona in every book in some form, and then I'll do all kinds of other stuff around in it. And so these might be leftovers. I might have had some black paint left over, so I just smeared off my palette knife or something like that. And so you can kind of see that it's just random. These are not necessarily stories like I try to tell in my collages and have or mixed media pieces and have some sort of a story. These may have a little bit of meaning to me in the reference as to what each thing might mean to me, but they're really not full. Let me move this over here. They're not really full like stories or paintings or whatever. It's usually just stuff that's left over. Okay, so like you can see, there may or may not be finished. Like if I wanted to really finish this, I'd probably have some planets, some shooting stars, whatever. But this gives me an idea, gives me references. I never ever run out of ideas. There's just I have more ideas than I will ever use in my lifetime. There's Leonardo. Here's some just various pieces of magazine collage. I like that she's like a kind of like a steampunk theme, but I have a jet plane, just different ideas like that. So you can kind of see, I'll just, and let me see if I can take a little bit of the lighting down because it's really kind of flashing. Maybe that's a little better. I'm not sure. I'm going to get some new lighting eventually. All right, that's a little better, I hope. All right. So I'm just kind of covering up, personal information. I have a hand there holding a flashlight and just different, I'll practice with copper, with a copper something. So this was like copper and whatever. So this was a little digi piece of a painting I did, and I just put that in there. None of these, by the way, have been varnished. None of these have been varnished like in my collage journal. Hang on, guys. I kind of lost chat there a minute. I think I'm back. Let me do a test here because I'm doing a live show. If y'all have any questions, put a Q and a colon. Sorry for my voice this morning. I got to keep remembering to take a sip of coffee. None of these are varnished. And some of them, especially in the little cheap composition books, the pages can come loose. Now these, I think I tore something out of this one, is why there's tape here. But these are nice journals. I get these at Barnes & Noble. They're not cheap, but they last forever. And you can see it's not really pulled away from the spine. It's all still connected to the spine. So these really hold up really well, and it's real Italian leather. So they're not cheap, but they'll last me months. So I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of flip through here. And you can see that they're really not anything finished. That's why they're just called my desk journals, and things that I just might have, you know, thrown up on my desk. Now this one was from 2011. So just kind of flip through a little bit. This was a stencil, had leftover paint on a stencil, so I threw that in there. This has got a couple of like a tip-in thing. So you can just kind of see, this is a napkin. We did a whole journal, and one of these days I'll pull that out on stream. Did a whole journal of nothing but napkin art. Well, I should say not just napkins, but like this, where it's collage, stenciling, painting, but using napkin, the art off of, you know, decorative napkins as a focal point. Okay, can someone write something in the chat for me? Because I'm not sure if I'm back. Chat-wise, I mean. All right, so this was another one, that same napkin there. And these were some different little cutouts that somebody had sent me in some Happy Mail, these little butterflies. This was way before I had a cutting machine. So anytime the girls would send me any little bits of cutouts, oh my gosh, it was like... All right, let me pop my chat out again, guys. Sorry. I might not be back and forth on the chat, so I'm trying on there to see your questions if you have any. Thank you, Dana. So, and then this was just a photograph of a peacock at the Noah's Ark rescue, and that was one. Yeah, sorry guys, I keep losing the chat, so if I lose you on chat, I'm gonna keep soldiering on. These were giant tortoises at the Noah's Ark rescue as well. I just threw them in there because I liked them. This was just some winter scenes, and I just was playing with blues and black. And so they're just all kinds of little, just things that I play with for ideas, more napkins, and this one has a tag on it, music paper, and this was a stencil, a spiderweb stencil, and Linda, art unit, had to teach me how to draw a spiderweb. Seriously, on one stream, I tried to draw a spiderweb. I could not draw a spiderweb for nothing. So when I got that stencil, I was quite pleased to have that stencil. And just all kinds of different, this is a hand-carved stamp that I did. It's quite large. And so I stamped him. Just all different kinds. And they're really, the pages sound like they're sticking, but they're really not. There's a couple where I have some napkins that seem to sound like they're sticking a little, but they're not pulling paint off or anything. These have been like tied up and put up, stacked up with journals on top of them. So they're a little, but they're not really sticky. And none of these are varnished, by the way. So there's just all kinds of things and ideas and stamps, and some things have more things than others in them, but they're just, I call them desk journals because, oh, this one we did for Carrie when she went on vacation. There's Carrie on vacation. And see, it sounds like it's sticking, but nothing's really pulling off. This is because that's metallic, so I have metallic paint there to look like fire. Let's see what else. This was another on stream something with a tag, and I forget what the whole, I don't remember all the themes. Some of these we just played with a little more. Some coffee with wings. Just different little, okay, that one has some personal notes on it. So you can see, like here's leftover paint I scraped. So these kind of things are very good to have for inspirations. If you set them on your desk and you just want to think of something to do and you're not sure, you know, you'll have some ideas here. So that's what these are, just like little idea journals. Some I'll go and play, like this one I went in with some gold ink to play with, so you can kind of see the ink. A tag there. Stencils and leftover paint. Then I have some couple of blank pages there that just have some regular paint like that. And so you can kind of see, this is just, like I say, I call these my desk journals, where I'll just throw things in. Okay, so, oh, there's more in the back, but I think you get the idea. All right, so this one is another one, the same type of thing. And see, like these kind of things. This is the kind of things that I'll just throw in there and then glue them down and play with paint with them. So they're just thrown in there. So let's see, I got a few things with my personal like information in case the book was lost or anything. This one was all kinds of little leftover floral paper. So I just hand drew some little trees on it. So you can just kind of see that anything like this you can do for ideas. This one I had, what was this one? I had this little piece right here. I don't know if you can see it right there, but there's this little piece of some kind of a scene. So what I did is I extended it with my own paint. I called this one Mirage. I have a little post-it note there. So I'll take just a little piece of something and then I'll turn it into, this is all paint. I put a little cave down there. I don't know if you can see. And then the rest, I can take just a little piece of collage something and turn it into a whole world. That's my favorite thing to do. And that's what I did in my bigger collage journal that I'm going to show you. This was off of a greeting card. There's just a piece of a something. So you can see leftover inks, leftover paints. So you can just kind of see how my process of taking something and just playing with it. None of this is finished work. None of it's finished art to like do anything with. It's just to sit on my desk and throw stuff in. Here's another one where I just kind of continue the, hope the lighting's okay in the focus, guys. And just kind of use, they are my imagination journals, where I can just, you know, play. So I love windows, arches, dimensions, doors, so you can kind of see. This is a stencil that I got of stained glass windows, so I like to play with that. Another just glued on watch parts, stamps, stencils, just bits of, you know, whatever. Here's another one where I just try to turn it into a whole scene there. Another one here, I just drew some pyramids and then made a pyramid here and just kind of playing with the idea of, you know, pyramid or whatever that shape was at the time that I was doing. So I don't know if any of this is really interesting to you, but you can kind of see, here's a piece of coral. So I made like underwater, undersea scape and use these big stencils like behind. And then you know, I can't even really explain all of them to you because it's just whatever. These are not my sketchbooks, though. My sketchbooks will have my drawings in them. These are my desk. I just call them desk journals because they're just like glue and paint and play. So you can see just practicing and playing with some landscapes, just whatever. Here's another one where I painted out a little bit more of a landscape. So let's see, anything collage here. This little piece of blue is collage, a little piece of a watch is a collage, and it's just, you know, painting my own little worlds. I turn that into a whole nother portal right there. So somebody would put a cat on it. More just play with textures and another piece of a napkin. just different. Now these are a little bit more. I have some napkins in here, so the napkin where I've matte medium down the napkins, they're not pulling paint. They're just a little stuck because I use napkins like that. So just so you can kind of see where I've kind of played with different images, stamps, paint, you know, just whatever. There's a bunch of inked pages I got right there. I think I was playing with my new Dilutions ink there. Let's see what else we have. I don't really even remember. It's been a while since I've been in these. Leftover stencils. It sounds worse than it is. It really is not that sticky. Here's another landscape with just a piece of some kind of, you know, that could be off of a dress. It could have been a Tiffany lamp. It could have been, I don't know. It's just I pulled it off with the color and the design. So you can kind of see. There's my whirling dervishes. That's what that came about from Noodle. And yeah, so this leftover stuff. I don't know if that's Jean messaging me. Here's a sketch of a horse on there. I had just some ink on there, so I did a sketch of a horse over the top of it, thinking maybe I would like paint around the horse and leave just the ink. If y'all have seen some of my envelope art. All right, let me see who that is. No, it's Carrie. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe am I... Oh, I'm still here. I see chat moving. All right. So anyway, that just gives you an idea. I have more here in the back. Just kind of gives you an idea of some of my play. Like I said, these aren't supposed to be anything. It's just desk junk, leftovers, and playing on the desk. It's not, yeah, no, it's not Denise. Denise doesn't tweet me, Jean, but yeah, nice try. So anyway, guys, this is just some of my desk journals that will, you know, just whatever. Oh no, just ideas. And these last quite a long time because there's, you know, there's so many pages and it's well made. You know, they're well stitched in. So you can just kind of get an idea. I like this one. I call this one Ponytails. So anyway, guys, those are a couple of my larger desk journals, but then will keep around, and I don't even know it's all stuck in here, but I'll keep some of these little things like these little composition books that are basically the same kind of thing, just smaller. So I don't know. Let's see if I can get it to focus for you. And these sometimes these pages will come out and I'll have to tape them, but I'll just do little miniature versions of the desk journal where they're just tinier little landscapes or whatever. Let's see if I can hold it somehow so it's not glared. So like I said, when you do these kind of little things like this, you're really never out of ideas for painting. Or here's a tiny little landscape real far away. It's kind of hard to see because they're little. This is about 3x4, kind of like the little art cards where I do the same type of thing for birthday cards and, you know, that I give away. So I know they are cute, aren't they? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to, chat kind of comes and goes. So if I'm not answering you, it's because the chat's coming and going. So you can kind of see. We saw this at the High Museum, the girl with the pearl. So that must have been the time that I went and saw that. That's probably from a brochure. There's a piece of a map, Coke bottle, marble candy. There's just a little landscape. I had a little piece of a castle right there. So I built a whole world around that castle. And like I said, none of these are varnished or anything. They're just in here for play. Here's a piece of packing tape, Jean. Jean, look, there's a piece of packing tape. Which, by the way, I did a packing tape transfer test and it's still sitting in the sink. So here's some with nothing. They just got some thing glued in them like there. And then some of them I'll take, like there's a little fish. So I built a whole world around that fish. I glued the fish down, then I go back and paint a whole little world around the fish. So there's some blank ones there. So you can kind of just see where I have other things in there ready to paint or whatever. So I think this is the same type. Well, I know it is. Let's see, which way does it go here? A couple blank pages in the beginning. So it's the same kind of thing. I hope it's showing up, guys, because I know the lighting. Just so you can kind of get an idea that, see this, how that's falling apart there. So I put a piece of tape. So I don't know if this is interesting to y'all, but I've had requests to show some of these, so that's what I'm doing. And I hope I'm not going too fast, but just skip over there. And I never really worry about like finishing them, because it's just like if I get a page like this and I'm flipping through, I want something idea to work on that I might play on this page. But I don't feel like a need to go in order, or I have no regrets about not like 100% finishing these. They're sitting around. If I need an idea, I know where they are. You know what I mean? Yeah, fishy. So that's these kind of little journals there. Just if you want to keep something handy. You know, it doesn't have to be big or expensive. It can just be something like that. And I don't even know how many of these. I can look up on my shelf and see at least 3 or 4 more right in front of me. But I just figured that this kind of gives you an example because they're all kind of the same thing. And then this is the collage journal that I'm really proud of and I'm really working hard to finish. This was the Diane Reevely. This just got a rubber band on it. This is the Dinah Reevely. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Journal, and the spine is not connected to the, I'll show you when I open it, but it has the strap on there that holds it closed. And this is all I'm trying to do finished collages. Now these are not like my drawing combination collage. These are my mixed media painting collages. And so but I wanted to do a whole book, a nice journal with all my, well, with a collection of collage and mixed media painting stories. These have stories to them. Now, there's still some that I'm working on in the back that are in process, and so I probably have, I'm over halfway done. I'm probably 3/4 of the way done, but it's a nice thick journal. These pages, as I finish them, I'm varnishing them, and people always ask me what I use to varnish them, so let me go ahead and show that. These are, and this is the first journal I've ever tried to varnish the pages. I did a test to make sure they weren't going to stick. I love this varnish. It's gloss interior exterior Delta Ceram Coat varnish. And you get this at the craft stores. And it dries 100% clear, and it dries very, very shiny. And that's what I wanted for this project. And but I was afraid that that might stick. Well, they don't. So if you hear a little bit of something, you know, it might have a, you know, around the edge, because I have a tendency to forget to put my wax paper between when I do stuff. And but they really are not sticking together, even though it sounds like a couple may. So anyway, I glossed these as I finished them. It's not 100% finished, but I'm determined to finish this one. So I started this book. Oh, let me show you the spine. So it comes like this. It's got like a corrugate spine, and you can see there's the book is like glued into this like chipboard cover. Has an envelope pocket here. I might even have the cover so I can show y'all what it looks like. This is what comes wrapped around the journal. It's a Delusions Creative Journal by Ranger, and I think it's designed by Dinah Reevely. And I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. D-Y-A-N, Dinah, or it might be Diane Reevely. Y'all, most of y'all that are in the craft world know who she is. So I just keep that in there so I just have that information. So I started, when I got this journal, I said, I think I want to do, and I started it in 2013, I thought I wanted to do calligraphy and illuminated letters, because I used to be a calligrapher. So, and of course that's kind of gone out with the, the age of computer graphics and type on computer. But I used to do it all by hand. And so I said, well, I want to kind of get back, and I don't want to lose my touch with calligraphy and illuminated letters. So I put my initials in the beginning thinking I would do a whole journal of that. And I know it's probably not going to show up, but so that's color pencil outlined with ink. All right, so camera doesn't like, let me get it to refocus again real quick here, guys. Let me get my little card here. This focus works great on this card for whatever reason. And let me brighten it up just a tad, maybe, just a tad. Okay, we'll see how that goes. All right. But as I got into it, I just changed my mind and started doing collage. So these are my collage story, and I think the camera's set right in here so you can see from top to bottom. And so these are mixed media collage with stories to me. And people ask me what they mean, and my view about art in general and is that it can mean one thing to me and one thing to the viewer. It's, to me, it's not so important as what I mean as it is what you see. So it's what you see in it that matters to me, not what I see in it, because I know what I see in it and I know what I mean. But whether you see that or not, that's up to what is in you. I don't know if that made sense, but that's how. So, and most of the pages that are finished are, you're going to see a shine because I have gloss varnished them. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to do a quick flip of this book. And without trying, maybe if I prop it up just a little so that takes the glare off. Just maybe a little. There we go. No, I guess that's really not helping. I'll just kind of have to weave it back and forth. So they're just different mixed media things. Like, for instance, this bit right here was a part of a Tiffany window. But then I'll take it and I'll turn it into this. And this is just for me. These are my idea generators, if you will. I don't want to call them sketchbooks, but they're my joy. They're my joy. I don't sell these. I'll sell prints of, like, my hand drawn things like this, but I don't sell. This is just my personal joy to do these stories for myself and show them. I don't mind showing them. So you can hopefully kind of see some of the worlds and the stories. You think they're inspiring? Good. I hope so. That's why I like to stream and do, these kind of things, is to inspire people to try things. That's like my thing. My thing is not necessarily to teach a technique or teach a style or teach you how to draw faces or how to, you know, I show all my processes and techniques and how I collage and step by step, but it's not so much for me to show you, to teach you how to do a collage or how to do mixed media or how to draw a face or an animal. It's to inspire you to try things and get inspired to, you know, just to try. That's my whole thing. So, trying to keep the glare off as much as I can, guys, and keep it focused. Oh, thanks, Carrie and everybody. And so these have meaning and stories to me that may not have the same story and meaning to you. Oops, I missed one there. I'm just going to kind of try to flip without the glare. So you can see I'll take a little something and turn it into different worlds within worlds. Here I just did a little checkerboard floor, so you can't really tell if this is like in a room, you know? It could be in a room. I love the idea of time. I like to put time in all my work, whether it's something for myself or for somebody else. I like to put time. I like water, and I like stars and planets. I like space. So you'll see that a lot. I called this one Father Time. This one was a picture from a Renaissance painting, and then I painted my own version of his hair and beard. I don't know if you can tell that, so he's all painted out. So they're just my little stories that I tell with mixed media. And I like this one. I turned this one into a screensaver on my phone. Let's see if I can. Whoops. Because I like that one. And some of it's hard to see when I'm flipping kind of fast, but and this one is not varnished yet. It's finished, but it's not varnished. It's got like ice here. I got some ice stuff going on there. This one's not varnished yet. It's finished, but it's not varnished. So. And then I have some different ones in different stages that are still being worked on. Then I think I have a couple other finished ones in here. Let's see. Here's one that's almost done, and it's not varnished either. Here's another one that's almost done, and this one doesn't have my waterfalls yet. And I think that's all as far as finished. So you can see I'm really determined to finish this whole book, but I thought I'd go ahead and do a quick flip through. Yeah, so just like even the combinations. And for those of y'all that are watching the recording that may have not been here, you know, been doing streams for years, and we used to do a theme a year where we do some kind of an inspiration theme every year that would last a whole year. And but I had one year I had to cut it short because of other things going on, so I didn't get to finish the idea folders, but we did do other projects like the idea pull-out folders, and we did that for a year. So anyway, I just want to do a quick little flip of some of the journals that I have around and the kind of things that I do. There's other kinds, like I said, my sketchbooks, just drawing books, going out on sketch walks and things that I'll just draw in. That's totally different than these kind of art journals. And so anyway, I hope y'all enjoy just taking a little run through them. And thanks for hanging out and watching. And so thanks, guys.